Okay, look at this. A Roman Denarius. To you and me, it's a piece for a museum, a cool bit of financial history. But 2,000 years ago, this was everything. This little silver coin was a soldier's salary on the freezing borders of Germania. It was the price of a loaf of bread in a bustling Roman market. It was the physical proof of the empire's power. This was the dollar, the euro, the yuan of the ancient world. And its story, the story of how this one coin was betrayed, is one of the most important lessons in finance, economics, and honestly, in how civilizations die. This isn't just a history documentary. This is a blueprint for an economic collapse. For centuries, the Roman economy was built on trust. The early denarius was nearly pure silver. Its value was real, tangible. You could bite it. As long as the money was sound, the empire was sound. It was the foundation of incredible wealth creation. But a sickness was growing. Not in the mint, but in the fields. Rome's armies were citizen farmers. But as they fought longer wars, they'd come home to find their farms drowning in debt, foreclosed on by the super rich who built massive slave-powered megafarms. Sound familiar? A hollowing out of the middle class. These landless veterans flooded the city of Rome, unemployed and angry. A politician, Tiberius Gracchus, saw the crisis. He tried to pass land reforms. For that, the wealthy elite had him murdered on the steps of the Capitol. That was the moment. The choice was made: protect concentrated wealth over social stability. It's a choice that always leads to chaos, civil war, and eventually an emperor. So the emperors take over, but they inherit a broken system. They have a massive army demanding pay, and a huge mob in Rome demanding free food and entertainment. The tax base that should have paid for it, gone, wiped out. They're stuck. It's a terrible would-you-rather game. Option A, tax the rich and get assassinated. Option B, cut army spending and get overthrown in a coup. Or the secret option C, the silent, insidious path. Cheat the money itself. For decades, they held off, until Emperor Nero. Facing huge bills, he gave the order in 64 AD. He reduced the silver in the denarius from 98% to 90%. To the naked eye, it looked the same. The state could now mint more coins from the same amount of silver. It was the ancient world's version of a magic money printer. But what Nero really did was make the state a counterfeiter. He broke a centuries-old promise. Once that line was crossed, there was no going back. It became the state's go-to solution. Every crisis, every war, just add more cheap metal, dilute the currency. It's the origin of state-sponsored inflation. People weren't stupid. They knew. The old pure silver coins, they vanished, hoarded. Gresham's law in action. Bad money drives out good. The new junky coins were spent as fast as possible. The emperor's face on a coin went from being a guarantee to the mark of a swindle. Then came the crisis of the 3rd century. The slow decline became a nosedive. We're talking hyperinflation. 20 emperors in 50 years, most of them murdered. Each one's only goal was to pay the army that put them there, and their only tool was the mint. By the 260s, the so-called silver coin had less than 5% silver. It was basically a bronze coin with a silver wash that rubbed off in your hand. Your entire family's life savings? Poof. Wiped out. Trust, the invisible glue of all financial markets, evaporated. Commerce collapsed into barter. The government, unable to collect taxes in its own worthless money, just started seizing property. This isn't a recession, it's a full-blown financial crisis, leading to the dawn of feudalism. Emperor Diocletian tried to fix it with force. He issued an edict on maximum prices, price controls on everything, with the death penalty if you broke the law. It was a spectacular failure. Merchants just stopped selling. It created massive shortages and drove everything onto the black market. He thought the problem was greedy people. The problem was the money was worthless. The final fall of Rome wasn't a big battle. It was a quiet implosion. The barbarians that bring down an empire are never just the ones at the gates. They're the ones inside the building that controls the money. So, why does any of this matter to you? Because this isn't just ancient history. It's a timeless warning. Our modern monetary policy is infinitely more sophisticated. Instead of chipping away at silver coins, central banks can create trillions with a keystroke. The tools have changed, but the temptation to finance massive debt and paper over deep problems is identical. The ghost of the denarius haunts our global economy. It's a reminder, a lesson in financial literacy that we forget at our peril. The barbarians that bring down an empire are never just the ones at the gates. They're the ones inside the building that controls the money.